I'm here outside the headquarters of the Daily Mail with Donnachadh McCarthy, organiser of Occupy Rupert Murdoch, and Donnachadh's going to tell us about his latest project, Occupy Daily Mail.
From Friday this week at 1 o'clock we're starting a 2-day occupation for 48 hours outside the Daily Mail headquarters. It's going to be called Occupy the Daily Mail, and it's Climate Crisis Vigil. It's been organised by Occupy the Media Billionaires, which is set up by Occupy Democracy, because we wanted to highlight the horrendous hijacking of Britain's democracy by 5 right-wing extremist media billionaires. However, what we also want to highlight is in this particular protest, these 5 extremists, billionaires who own our media, all oppose climate action. And so we believe this is the single biggest blockage to urgent action in Britain on the climate crisis facing us.
Okay, so you're coming down here on Friday the 23rd. What are you going to be doing?
Sure, we're starting at 1 p.m. To take the space and to start the vigil. It's a peaceful protest. At 3 p.m. we have issued a challenge to Paul Dacker, who is the editor of the Daily Mail, to meet with Natalie Bennett, the leader of the Green Party, to justify the Daily Mail's editorial line on climate change. At 6 p.m. we have a meditation, a silent meditation, candlelit meditation, and various events over the 2 days. But the main thing is to highlight, as we say, the issue of the climate crisis blockage by the billionaires. Let me talk you through maybe the 5 billionaires and their position on climate change. First of all, Rupert Murdoch. He believes climate has always changed. Of course he's right. He said all we need to do is stop building big houses by the sea. The idea that Rupert Murdoch's empire is climate sceptical is a disaster. Secondly, we have Richard Desmond, who owns the Express newspaper in the UK. He funds UKIP, which is pro-coal, pro-oil and anti-renewables. Then we have got the Barclay brothers, who own the Telegraph Group, who live in an offshore tax haven in Jersey. Both their newspapers are host unscientific climate skeptics like James Delingpole and Christopher Bucher, who have been totally responsible for the devastation in the wind turbine industry. And then finally, of course, we have Lord Rothermere, who owns the Daily Mail and who employs Paul Dacker as his head editor. The Daily Mail under Paul Dacker is Britain's most effective blockage to climate change. They state things like the climate isn't changing, the temperatures aren't rising. They question even the disappearance of the Arctic ice cap. They use unscientific approaches, disapproved by most scientists in the world, to prove scurrilous articles. And what we are here to say is, Paul Dacker, if you believe in protecting Britain, you must help us tackle the climate crisis. If you want to protect Britain's shores from being flooded, you must take action on the climate crisis. If you want energy independence, you must help us support the renewable energy industry. And if you want to help Britain's economy, you must highlight and not block energy efficiency investment and regulation. We think this is the single most important thing in the climate movement at this stage. Leading up to Paris, if the media block action, we haven't a hope of winning. Why do we believe this is so important? We believe it's crucial because no matter how much we protest, no matter how much we march, no matter how much we lobby the government, if this man opposes action, it doesn't happen. Some examples of what they've done in the last couple of months with the government. They've slashed support for offshore wind turbines, they've slashed support for solar energy, they've slashed the taxes on oil, and they've slashed taxes on fracking. So they are increasing taxes on renewables, reducing it on oil and fossil fuel. This is a disaster for Britain and the wider world, and that's why we are here and calling people to join us over from Friday to Sunday this week. And let's remember, even if all things go well in Paris in November, scientists have said, and even the UN has stated, it'll mean still a 3.5 degree rise in temperatures across the planet. That is incompatible with life as we know it. If people want to come and join us from Friday, we are here at Derry Street, which is a couple of metres from High Street Kensington's tube station, just off the High Street Kensington. You can find us online. Our Facebook page is Occupy the Daily Mail, Climate Crisis Vigil. Of course, even if you can't come, you can tell people about it. You can also help by emailing or putting postings on the Daily Mail website, pro-climate action, and you can also lobby groups that are advertising with the Daily Mail. If you look at the Daily Mail, see what groups are advertising, email them and tell them your concern and ask them to lobby the Daily Mail. Together we can actually change these 5 men and help save Britain and the wider planet.